Hello, this is Brawl Racing with a special video recounting the last time F1 ever had a DNPQ, a bump day, a DNQ, a mass withdrawal, and the last disqualification. So, starting off with the last ever did not pre-qualify was with the Adrian Moder team back in the 1992 Hungarian Grand Prix, where poor old Perry McCarthy was not given the resources possible to get out of pre-qualifying, and he did not even set a lap time in his Adrian Moder job. And of course, from this point onwards, Adrian Moder will want to make a proper effort to qualify both of their cars for the next race, or risk being suspended at Monza. Although, of course, as we all know, after Spa, Adrian Moder's assets would be seized and he would no longer be an F1 team. The last ever Formula 1 bump day was at the 1994 Australian Grand Prix. And of course, at this time, there was still a limit of 26 cars that were allowed to start for the race. But of course, Pacific were once again the two odd cars out, with Paul Belmondo and Bertrand Gachot failing to qualify, in spite of the fact that both LaRousse cars had paid drivers in them, which were driven by Hideki Noda and John Dennis Denatras, and of course Simtek had a paid driver in D'Amico Scricchiella, but yet their cars was Belmondo was still 1.5 seconds slower than Scricchiella. So at the penultimate Adelaide Grand Prix, both Pacifics were out. And of course that meant neither of them had even completed a race. The last ever cars to fail to qualify for a Grand Prix through the 107% rule was the two HRTs of Pedro de la Rosa and Lorraine Cartagena at the 2012 Australian Grand Prix, as both were practically 2 seconds slower than the two Marussias of Timo Glock and Charles Peake. The last ever mass withdrawal where more than 2 cars failed to start the race was the 2015 Australian Grand Prix, which of course saw the two Marussias of Will Stevens and Roberto Merri, who had only just seen their team manage to come out of administration unable to participate, as all the software had been wiped out in the anticipation of a new buyer buying their equipment. And then Valtteri Bottas was forced to withdraw because of a back injury before the race started. Kevin Magnussen was forced to pull up on the warm-up lap with an engine failure. Danny Kvyat suffered a gearbox failure, meaning that only 15 cars finished the Grand Prix. And then, to add insult to injury, both Lotuses went out on lap 1, meaning that only 13 laps did more than a lap completed. And finally, the last ever disqualification to date in Formula 1 history is the 2015 Brazilian Grand Prix, where local hero Felipe Massa was disqualified from his original finish of 8th place because of a breach of tyre limits in his right rear tyre. So, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to Brawl Racing, and I'll see you again very soon.